Good afternoon, everybody. Auronnj here with another War of the Visions video, and today we have episode number 3 of Let's Muse on Mages, and we are talking about one of my most used mages in this game, and that's Skahal. So, what is Skahal? Who is Skahal? You don't see this guy a lot, and that's because when he came out, a lot of people kind of passed on him, because there was other good things coming out at that time. But if you passed on this guy, or if you have him and you're not building him, you're missing out on a really incredible unit that is one of the best mages in this game, bar none. So, first of all, what kind of context do we want to talk about Skahal in? Well, let's bring his stats up on the screen, and we're going to compare his stats directly to Medina's stats, who I believe he is the modern version of what she needs to become. So, what do I mean by that specifically? Well, there you see both of their stats on the screen. Skahal just sort of has better stats than she does. Now, it's not dramatic, and Medina, in fact, has a little bit more magic. But the resists, Medina just has trash resists, and Medina has such low HP, and Skahal's just an improvement on those in almost every way, except for magic. Medina has 5 more resist. But his stats line up as a more modern version, a more in line with the power of the game stat line. But that's definitely not all I mean. If it was just those differences, I'd say, yeah, they're kind of close in a pretty similar unit. But let's look at his subjobs. So Medina's subjobs are kind of weird, right? Like, she has Ninja and Green Mage, and you're like, what? Okay, Ninja's really good because you get more agility in the movement, and that's true for Medina, but Skahal's really make more sense to me. Skahal gets Staff Mage and Time Mage. Now, Staff Mage is the same subjob that Killfae has, and it kind of helps make her tanky and make her this upfront bruiser kind of mage. Skahal is not that. I don't use Staff Mage a ton, even though it has some really cool moves in it, like Energy Buster, Stunning Staff is pretty cool, and then the Winged Staff movement buff. Those are neat. However, I tend to go more for his Time Mage, which is a phenomenal sub-job for a Black Mage. I mean, it is so powerful, and he has the best version of it. He has haste, like the other Time Mages do, but he also has access to Quicken. And man, how many times in my videos, in my arena matches, in my guild wars, is one of my main strategies quickening my tank so they don't bring the AoE from the other team all the way to my back line. And when my back line can provide the means of not dying to the other team's AoE, that's killing 2 massive birds with 1 stone. Quicken and haste are just awesome things for Skahal to have. And then he backs that up with being this huge Black Mage who can do Medina levels of damage. In fact, even though he has less magic than Medina, he does more damage than she does. Why is that? Well, let's look at 2 other things. First, let's bring what I call Skahal's vision card onto the screen here. It is a great vision card. It gives Human Eater up on magic attacks to the whole group, but if Skahal himself is wearing it, it boosts his magic attack by an additional 20. That's a huge buff. When Skahal first came out, people thought, his damage is a little bit lacking, he doesn't really have that one-shot capability, etc. Then this vision card came out, and his buff was like a global-only buff on this card, and we were like, oh, I see, look at that. It also gives him access to Auronnj, which is a long-range, extra-large damage attack that actually does more damage than Flare. So, hey, big thumbs up right there. But that's not all. He also power creeps Medina by having access to an awesome staff that just came out this week. And that's Sakura's staff, right? Like the scythe. So it's like the pruning scythe, I think that's what it's called. Whatever, it's on the screen, you see it. This staff is amazing. It gives 150 magic, which is a little bit less than the Plat Rod, but it gives lightning attack plus 20, as well as light attack plus 20, but we don't care about that for this. We're looking at that lightning attack plus 20 and magic attack plus 15. Oh my. That elevates his damage to even a whole new level. I've been playing with that a lot this week with my boy Skahal here, and he has been crushing it in Arena and crushing it in Guild Wars. And this staff is fantastic for him. So, when I'm comparing him to like Medina, right? Medina does not have a weapon that seems specifically for her. Medina does not have some global buff vision card that's great for her. And even though Medina is still a very good unit, Skahal represents like the modern day version of what Medina could be to me, and seems to have kind of power crept her a little bit. Now, you can use him on the same team. And again, I'm not saying Medina's worthless. Like, watch my last video about her. She still does really well, and she's kind of cool and different than him in some ways. But my goodness, is Skahal just just a monster of a unit. Okay, let's go build some teams with him, put him in Arena, and kind of show off what he can do with all this new stuff. Sweet. So the party I want to show off for Skahal today is one of my all-time favorite parties to run with him. And that is Agrius, Skahal, Zombie Ryu. Sometimes I'll even swap out Agrius for Killfay to do like a full mage just beatdown team. But this has probably been my most effective squad that I've run with him. And in this squad, Agrius is the tank. She's going to be boosted forward by Skahal's Time Mage subjob. Zombie Ryu is going to just be buffing Revive on himself twice with his own TMR and Courage buff, which technically not 2 revives, but you get it. And then Skahal is going to be supporting early and then bringing the damage late. So let's take a look at his abilities before we get into the fight, see how we have him set up. So you can see he's bringing 1062 magic in this group. We have him on Black Mage main job, and what do we have on? We have Thunder on, which actually I could go max that out. We have Flare on, and we have Thundaga on. The basic Black Mage things, right? Awesome. What about his sub job? Time Mage. All right, we have Quicken on. Quicken's an awesome skill, and we have Haste on to just help speed Agrius up. Now, to start, we're going to turn Haste off. We're going to have him just Quicken Agrius and see if she can really get that separation that we want her to have. Yeah, let's jump into a fight, and let's see this comp in action. Okay, so the first fight, this is kind of what we want. We want a big time physical damage team, and we're getting that with triple different types of damage here with Super Stern, Kane, and Nivlu. A concern about fighting Nivlu is she could remove all of our buffs. Like if we were running Haste, she could remove that, or if Zombie Ryu could have his revives removed. We really don't want that, because that's sort of his way of being a bruiser in a strange way. Another thing you're going to notice is Agrius is not running bells. If she's running bells, she would have used bells on turn 1, and that seems like a good thing, but I really need her to cast that shield on turn 1 instead, if she's going to be my only source of tanking. Alright, there's the first Quicken on her, and you can see she's gotten way forward and cast Taunting Blade. She has all of the hate she's going to need for this fight already. We just need her to be up there tanking. Okay, she tanked the triple hit from Super Stern, which used up her whole shield, but I'm not going to call that a waste of that shield at all. She barely has taken damage, and that is in spite of having, Ruin Stern, one of the highest damage characters in the game, hit her 3 times, plus Nivlu hitting her. Okay, there was an attempt to disable. It didn't land, but no big deal. The important thing here is even though she's about to die, look where she died. She died all the way up there, keeping the rest of the team completely safe. Zombie Ryu has moved up and killed Nivlu. Let's see what Skahal can do. One-shots the Ruin Stern with just Thunder. So his AI was smart enough there, which I like, to prioritize using Thunder instead of a charge time spell that might have got him killed. Okay, here's another Thunder onto Kane. There's Courage from Kane. Kane's going to take to the air, kill Zombie Ryu, but the thing with Zombie Ryu is you got to kill that guy 3 times or he'll do that. And boom, that's a successful fight and a really cool win. Would it have been nice if Agrius could have lived? Yes, that would have been nice. But she fulfilled her role as our tank, got up there, brought the enemy team to her, and you could see that Skahal and Zombie Ryu have plenty of punch to clean that up. Alright, let's switch Agrius out for Killfay and show off the mage squad one time before we go to giving Skahal a grade. Okay, so once again, we're still looking for that physical damage team, and we find that here with Warrior of Light, Thancred, and Kayn, because Kilfey is a much better physical tank than she is a magic tank. Her shield is only a physical attack shield, so that just makes her better. Now, another adjustment that we made is I turned haste back on for Skahal, because there's this really awkward interaction with Kilfey where her shield has a charge time. So if you have Skahal using Quicken on her, on his first buff to her, she won't actually get 2 true turns. She'll end up moving, charging a spell, getting quickened there instead of haste, and then just casting that awkwardly. Instead, she gets 2 true turns here and ends up getting the taunting spell off, which that's sort of the setup you need, because she's not bringing any natural hate with like a Vow of Love or something like that to the fight. Anyway, okay. Enemy team's just doing their thing. Kilfey being a tank. Here's a Quicken on Kilfey. Not perfectly set up because it was going to be her turn next anyway, but it's okay. She's moving forward. Big energy buster to the, majority of the enemy team. Awesome. And you can see Kilfey's ability to be a tank and how awesome she is getting these buffs from Skahal. So really showcasing Skah's ability as a support here. But now that the enemy team's moved up, we're going to get to showcase his ability to do some damage. And that's really, what we want our Black Mages doing. Thunder, boom, 3600 damage. Pops Kayn's Courage, awesome. Okay, Kilfey does go down, unfortunately, once her shield had run off. But, okay, let's see. Enemy team moves in. Zombie Ryryu and Skahal aren't going to have any problem cleaning this up, I anticipate. In fact, Skahal might just bonk him with his staff. And there we go. Another win. Really similar result to the first time where our tank went down. But you can see the potential that Skahal has as both a support and a big-time damage dealer, which is 2 really cool things to bring to a group. Let's go ahead and move forward with giving this guy some grades and wrap up the video. Alright, so we're going to do the same 6 metrics for Skahal that we did with the other 2 mages. That's damage, AoE, utility, movement, speed, and durability. Got to think about it for a second. And we're going to start with damage because he's a mage. His damage is phenomenal. I'm just going to give him a 97 on damage. It's not 100 because it just doesn't blow me away almost all the way, but his damage is nuts. In fact, in the fights we saw in this video, he was killing people with just his level 15 Thunder over and over again. We didn't even get to see the limit break. We didn't get to see him use Ruinja. I don't like manipulate the fights to make things happen. We're just running Arena live, but you could still see that his damage is insane. And it would have been maybe tied with Medina had he not gotten the global buff to that vision card and gotten a staff that is just so perfect for him. Those 2 things really elevated his damage, and it's truly like S tier damage for a mage, and it's awesome. Okay, 97. He's going to score a bunch of points there. AoE ability. I'm going to give him the same score here that I gave to Medina, and it's a 90. His limit break hits in a big AoE like hers, and in fact it's actually a 3-hit chain, which you could make work somehow really cool with like other lightning units. So that's neat. And then he has like Thundaga, just like she has Blizzaga. So I think they're really similar in that regard, and I'll give him a 90 just like I gave her. Utility. Here is where he really starts elevating himself to the next level. I'm going to give him a 90 on utility because haste is a really good spell and quicken is an insanely good spell. And this dude enables comps that might otherwise struggle. He boosts tanks that are otherwise very, very slow. You can give Engelbert multiple turns before the enemy tank with quicken. And that's saying something because that dude is a turtle. So his utility, what he brings to a team, is really deserving an A. So I'll give him a 90 there. Movement. All right. Here's where we're going to start dropping his score a little bit. Base 3-1 move. And in order to buff his move, you have to run him as Staff Mage, which I feel like is a suboptimal sub-job for him. Staff Mage is still good. However, Skahal isn't somebody you want bruisering. Now, you saw in the fight, he took a hit from Thancred and was fine. And you could build him with some defense with Staff Mage and make it so he can almost always survive one hit from the enemy team, which is cool. But yeah, I don't know that going for the extra movement is worth losing Time Mage. So I'm going to give him a 65 here, low score, and just move on. Okay, speed, 85. He has the same base agility as Medina, and she's the fastest mage in the game. Now, she can amplify her speed through a support ability, but he can amplify his speed through haste. And, in fact, he can amplify other people's speed, even though that is more a utility thing than speed. But his base agility is very, very nice, and he really benefits from any of the magic espers that you want to give him, so you can adjust his speed to be where it needs to be, which for a Time Mage is very important. So I think his speed, basically it's this. He has enough agility that you can adjust his agility up or down with items and espers to be what it needs to be for Quicken to activate the right way, right? Like, you got to use your brain a little bit with Skahal if you want to go for those Quicken combos with the auto AI. But all right, 85 for speed. He's fast, just not lightning fast. All right. Durability. I'm going to give him a 75 here. That's a average score for a mage. Like, he's more durable than Medina, but he's not as durable as Kilfei, who can tank. He's not that durable. I'm just going to give him a 75 and say, hey, you can survive a hit sometimes. Good for you. And you can give him 12 defense with one of his passive abilities if you really want to. All right. So overall, let's give him an 88. I'm going to say he's the second best mage in the game right now. Kilfei being the first. Now, big asterisk to this whole video. I have not thoroughly tested Sakura yet. She's level 89. She's going to be level 99 tomorrow of the day of filming this video. So we'll see if I still believe what I just said once I test her. But as of the filming of this, I think Kilfei's the best mage in the game, and Skahal is a close second. Kilfei's a 90, Skahal's an 88. Why? So his damage, best in the game as of the filming of this video. Again, maybe Sakura just blows him away because she's light units, and light units get all those buffs and whatever. But as of right now, I think he does the most damage. Then his utility is amazing. He can hit in AoEs, and he's durable enough to usually take about one hit, especially from a physical or magic attack. So there you go, 88. I love this unit. I have a ton of fun with them. I have a ton of fun with a lot of units in this game, but Quicken is especially a fun ability to use because of the way it enables so many other units in the game. So there you go. That's my Skahal review. That's the Skahal video. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, check out the rest of the Mage series. Then if you like that, check out the other series. Throw me a subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I'll see y'all in my next video.